Rep. Jim Jordan is putting the heat back on Merrick Garland and Alejandro Mayorkas because that is a winning issue. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug TenNapel. This is the Doug TenNapel channel, and I thank you guys for subscribing, liking, and leaving a comment below. We always want to know what you think, and of course, talk to each other. This is the nicest community. We got the coolest community on YouTube, guys, on the net. This is where all the family people are. This is where the nice guys are. People with strong opinions. You know, they're allowed to talk. That's what we're all about. Here's the article over at The Hill. And remember, I tend to pull from Democrat sources. This is The Hill, just not kind to Jim Jordan, but also not like rah-rah Trump so that you go, oh, this is just, you know, a part of the Republican Party. No, they're not that. Okay. Jordan signals ongoing probes into Garland Mayorkas on the border. This is a winning issue. Good. House Judiciary Committee Chair Jim Jordan fired off letters Friday to Merrick Garland and Homeland Security and Alejandro Mayorkas, signaling his intention to continue investigations into the Biden administration handling of the border. Quote, this letter serves as a formal request to preserve all existing and future records and materials related to the Biden-Harris administration's enforcement of federal immigration law, unquote, Jim Jordan wrote in his letters to each. Because this is because, remember Hillary, they bleach bit their servers, they break phones with hammers, phones get reset en masse, you know, FBI, CIA, they suddenly vanish. So it's not without precedent that information, once one administration leaves, and Garland and Mayorkas both know that they're on the outs. So Jim Jordan's just going, we're going to be looking at your messages and all of your documents. And let's hope they flush something out. I'm all for it because those two guys are corrupt as heck. And, you know, people criticize these investigations. We'll get to that at the bottom of the article. The Justice Department pushed back on any insinuation it does not plan to keep all records. Quote, this Justice Department follows the law, including our legal obligations regarding the preservation of records. And we will continue to do so, unquote, a DOJ spokesperson told The Hill, lied to The Hill. How do we know that they're liars? Well, he said that they they follow their legal obligations regarding preservation of records. How are they about their legal obligations of preserving the border? They did not. They did the equivalent of wiping a server clean on the border. They wiped the border clean and let people over. And for that, of course, they need to be punished in some way, at least investigated. DHS did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The letters rehash 2 years of requests made at each agency, highlighting different investigative threads pursued by the panel, from how immigration court judges oversee the DOJ, handle cases to details and data requested on numerous immigration policies carried out by the Department of Homeland Security. Remember, this is all the investigations into the missing children, hundreds of thousands of missing children, their catch and release, their pressure to have ICE and Border Patrol agents actually help process people into the illegals into the country instead of prosecute and deport. The letters are just the latest sign from Jordan about what the committee will focus on once President Trump reenters the White House, continuing oversight on the Biden administration as it has since the GOP overtook the House under President Biden. And this has to happen. They have to set precedent to make people realize that they're responsible, even after the last administration is gone, just like they did in their prosecution of Steve Bannon and Navarro and all these people, the J6 committee. They didn't say, oh, that was the last administration. We're all done with that. It's time to have peace and get along with each other. Let's move on from this. No, no, no. They went in and they're like, we got to impeach Trump. We got to prosecute and persecute all these people. I don't believe in persecution. I believe in prosecution. Just days after the election, Jim Jordan also sent a letter to special counsel Jack Smith, the villain. Yes, get Jack Smith. Sweat that guy out. We got to get him nailed on something so that he rats out Merrick Garland. We're going to say, look, you want a plea deal? You work with us? Maybe we'll see. Just like what Fani Willis did to all of the 18 defendants in Fulton County, Georgia. And she got some of them to roll and flip, Sidney Powell and that other chick. He's got to get Jack Smith. He was likewise asking him to retain all records related to his 2 investigations into Trump. That will hopefully have the emails between he and Nathan Wade and Fani Willis orchestrating everything. That will reveal some good stuff. Well into next year, guys. Jordan has launched numerous investigations into Biden administration officials, as well as the other two prosecutors beyond Smith who launched investigations into Trump. I wonder what two prosecutors those were that they're talking about. That could be Fani Willis. That could be Chutkan. That could be, well, prosecutors Alvin Bragg, possibly Letitia James. But the GOP track record is mixed. A lengthy investigation into Mayorkas that spurred an impeachment vote in the House was dismissed by the Senate as it declined to hold a trial on the topic. Now, don't get too excited about dismissing these. That was an old Senate. Now you're going to have the new MAGA Senate with a new mandate. And I think their response will be different than when they thought they might lose under a Biden and lose under a Harris. So hopefully they'll have a little more strength, a little more steroids behind their investigations, this time with help of the Senate. And the House never advanced a vote in its own impeachment investigation into Biden, releasing a report ahead of the Democratic convention that relied on numerous debunked claims while failing to demonstrate he took improper actions as a government official. I think that's overstating their hand, the Hill is. They're a little too pro-Democrat here. There were investigations into Biden's banking and ties to Ukraine and China, and it largely went nowhere. But this time it might go somewhere. I say reinvestigate, and let's take a look. Still, a broader investigation gives Republicans an avenue to continue to attack Democrats on the border. Good. A prime campaign issue for Trump throughout the election. Not just Trump. It's not just a Trump thing, guys. It is the American voter wants the investigation. If you guys agree, let me know in the comments below. Do you want to pursue more investigations? Or are you saying, like, are you one of those people? I see it in the chat all the time. Guys are going like, nothing will happen with this. Oh, so don't investigate at all? Trump critics also fear that congressional investigations will be a route to carry out revenge on those who have crossed ways with Trump. Now, revenge is an interesting word that the Hill would use. They never used revenge on what Jack Smith did. They never used the word revenge on prosecuting Steve Bannon with the J6 committee, Peter Navarro, going after our people. They never talk about that as revenge. Impeaching Trump twice, never talk about that as revenge. They've never formally used the word revenge on making Trump into a felon with the mugshot. So the Hill here is showing their two-tiered justice coverage. It's all bias. I'm here to expose it at the Hill, and we're here to laugh at them because I am a barely literate comic book artist, and apparently I have a better sense of balance than the Hill. I'm Doug in exile.